Welcome back, Starshines. It's Dawn Marlowe with The Real Tarot. And today, um, John Eric had written in and asked a question. His question was about palmistry. He wanted to know if it was legitimate. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I know about palmistry. In regards to palmistry, there are a number of things, of course, about the hands that you can study. But in regards to palmistry, the heart, the head, the fate, and the lifeline are ones that most people look at. And they do change from the left and the right, meaning one is what is, and one is what is becoming. So some people will ask to see one hand to determine maybe what has happened to you in your life, and then ask to see the other hand so that they could see what is manifesting. The other thing about palmistry, which is kind of interesting to me, it's one of the forms of divination that requires you to actually touch the hand or the palm or the person. That lends another form of reading. You're picking up on energy. And the other thing about palmistry is each one of the fingers represents a planet, and each one of the signs are governed by a planet as well. Within each one of the fingers, they also talk about things like the sun, which may be prosperity and manifestation. They talk about a few things. The moon is in there. So those can give way or give information depending on the patterns that are on the fingers or inside of the hand itself. Now, the one thing that I will talk about, and what I always look at, is it's called the Mount of Venus. And within the Mount of Venus, you can look at relationships, and most people want to know about relationships. They always ask me about relationships. And by touching it and seeing how plump it is, you can kind of see how that person is in regards to sex. The other thing, there are patterns in there on the skin. There are crisscrosses and hearts and zigzags or whatever. And if you start looking at those, you're doing what's called scrying. So there are a number of things that come into play with palmistry. So yeah, palmistry is real. So that's what I say, John Eric. So this is the segment of our show where we do our celebrity predictions. And today we're going to do a reading for Jenna Ortega. And you know her most recently from the Addams Family series. So I'm going to give it a shuffle and see what it says about her. This is the Tower. Occasionally this card is a challenge. It's a shaky foundation. A lot of times it says there is a move in store. You know, sometimes this talks about, in the best way, it talks about resurrection, rising again like the phoenix. If the devil is around it, it's really fiery. You know, if maybe it's talking about some sort of movie or something that's coming out. Wouldn't that be funny if it was like Rise of the Phoenix? I hope so. This is the card of stagnation. This is a card that talks about slow moving. It's also a deeply emotional card, so it could say that there's been a block around emotions or feelings or someone that, you know, is close to her. This is a card that could talk about time frame. Could also say May, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, next May. This is a card that talks about slowing down. It's a card of setback. So it's like if something was moving forward, oh, I know what this is, because this is documentation and writing. This can be a nonprofit organization, a hospital, a union. We have a writer's strike or something like that. Uh, that put a halt on something. I mean, of course it did, duh, but for her in particular. And it also may say that it has changed some of the opportunities. Um, Maybe there's less travel right now, or something was with travel was put off. Um, these cards, again with the tower out first, I'd say, you know, this strike has probably put a little bit of a damper on things. Period. Um, this is seeking another state and seeking another country. Um, this is travel again. This is the hand of God. This is she has all the travel sign, every single one of the travel cards that you could have, and there's a lot of male energy. So I'm going to talk about a couple things. This is an air sign. I think we were talking about if in regards to her that this is going to put the strike puts a little halt on things. You may see that she actually goes out of the country, travel to another country. This is sometimes also a healing card. It's called the Seeker. It depicts people who live closer to the ground. Sometimes it talks about native people. It talks about herbs, marijuana, this sort of thing, if it's in the healing realm. This is a competition. This is also travel. This is a male card. It's a work card. This is the hand of God. This can be an air sign. Inspiration, an epiphany, an idea, travel again. But this is also the Man of Cups. If we're looking at these cards, I would say that there is some opportunity that's going to arise, and it comes out of this country. There may be some involvement with someone that may become a romantic interest if it's not already there. But interestingly enough, there's an earth sign man, an air sign man, and a water sign man. Yeah, a love triangle or a quadruple. I don't know, something like that. She's young. She can date around. But I don't think she's going to have any babies. So that's what these cards talk about, and that's my prediction today. We're back, and it's the High Priestess. This is the segment of the show where I give everybody a little bit of advice. Hey, I'm high. So, what I would say about palmistry is, or palmists, or getting your palms read, or anything about your palms, just don't read hairy palms. Just don't do it. It's not sanitary. And, Jenna Ortega, thing that I saw on those cards is a lot of travel or a lot of opportunities. I'd say date for sure, but there were a lot of men out there, a lot of dates or a lot of opportunities. Safe sex. My biggest recommendation at the end of the show is, everybody here needs to just smoke a fat one. So